Well, this is my second picking of Tom Thumb tomatoes. I'm not overly enamoured with these Tom Thumb. I mean, some of them are a reasonable size. Others that have already ripened are quite small, but they're tomatoes and they are sweet. Perfect. So this is the plants here. I think there's another one somewhere here. In the greenhouse, the tomatoes in here. Some varieties are quite big, others they're not bad, they're not as bad size. These ones, I'll see if I can get to it. There we go. A very good size. But those, I've already had one good picking out of here, and I've got another good picking to come. And the peppers, these are now ready. The others, oh, there's some more over there which are yellowing up. I dropped the phone there, guys. Yeah, the others are coming on quite nicely. There's one there beginning to ripen up. I've had two of these cucumbers off of here already. There's still more to come. So yeah, very happy. Well, here's two of the cucumbers. They're these knobbly ones. Yeah, they're not bad. I have had this variety before, and they're okay. I learned that not to let them get too big, because if they get too big they start going a bit bitter, which is not good, and if they go bitter they shouldn't be eaten. But yeah, these are okay. Oh, so I've just cut one, and yeah, let's have a look and see. So there's one of the cucumbers. Just because they've got knobbly outsides, it doesn't mean you can't eat the skin. You can. Perfect. Oh, let's have a look. We've got just under 2 pound. It's about 0.75 a kilo of these Tom tomatoes. So I'm not, yeah, sorry, I've got a cough. That's not bad. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. That's the first harvest. There's easily the same again still out there to be harvested, plus lots of flowers. All my tomatoes are, when they're planted, there's one little green one there which fell off, but that'll self-ripen. Don't waste them if they fall off and they're a bit green. They'll ripen in the sun on the windowsill. All my tomatoes are planted in compost and soil mix. They're planted with their roots sprinkled with bloodfish and bone meal, and I also crush some calcium tablets which you can buy from any of the supermarkets. They're cheap enough, just buy them, crush them, and I normally put 2 calcium tablets per plant, sprinkle around the whole, crushed, and mix it all in. And then what I do then is once a week I'll water with a good tomato feed. I don't do that for the first 2 weeks. I do that start off in the 3rd week after planting, and then once every month I will then water with a mix of calcium, crushed calcium and dissolved calcium tablets, and the tomato feed. And it works for me. You know, everyone has their own way of growing tomatoes, but for me that works. I don't normally get the end rot, that black rot at the bottom of the tomato or anything. And normally my tomatoes grow, you know, healthily that way. It works for me, so it works inside or outside. All the Tom Tom tomatoes are outside and the normal tomatoes are inside. Let's go harvest some of the main crop tomatoes. The greenhouse now, I've just picked a load of tomatoes which are there, and 3 of the orange peppers. As you can see, lots and lots of tomatoes left. Some nearly ready, some not quite ready. Oops, there we go. They are laden with tomatoes. Now, what I tend to do is, as they're ready, or just about ready, like this, let's pick this one. Now, that's only, must be this weather, maybe a day, maybe 2 days away from being fully ripe. I pick them, so I put them indoors. Don't put tomatoes in the fridge. You lose that sweetness, that new tomato sweetness, if you put tomatoes in the fridge. I like to keep them outside. They should be eaten at room temperature or cooked. In my books, not cold. Make sure you keep the side shoots pushed off, clipped out, whichever way you want to say it. And also, I normally start to take some of the bottom leaves away. Let the air circulate round them. You don't want to get blight in the greenhouse, and that's all down to air movement. So in the greenhouse, I've got the main window, 2-foot window. I've got a little side vent, and then obviously the door. The side vent and the window stay open all the time, and door is open from first thing in the morning, as early as possible, until as late as possible. And even so, as you can see, temperature there was 38 degrees centigrade, 47.9 yesterday and 9.4 overnight. What a difference in extreme temperatures. So let's go for Fahrenheit. And so it reached in the greenhouse, even with these with the door and the window and the vent, it reached 118.2. It's 98.8 Fahrenheit, and last night it went down to 48.9. It's amazing, isn't it? You get that extreme of temperature in the day, and then it goes down to below half overnight. Well, let's go weigh these tomatoes. So we have 1.5 pound of tomatoes. Yes, okay, they're not big. They're about the size of the biggest of the Tom Tom tomatoes, but they're tomatoes. And anything in my books, tomatoes, I'll take them every day of the week in any size that they come. I love tomatoes. So roughly about 0.7, I suppose. 6, yeah, 0.7, and 1 pound 8 ounces. And then we have the 3 orange peppers. There we go. Not very big. It's just a bit dirt. Not very big, but they're ideal for me. Well, it's now approaching 11:45, so the sun will be at its highest soon. Doesn't mean it's going to be at its hottest. According to the weather forecast, it's going to get even hotter as the afternoon goes on. and by between 4:30, 7 o'clock, it's going to be at its highest level. We moan when it's cold, we moan when it's wet, we moan when we don't have water, we don't have the rain, we moan when we have this massive heat, which I'm sorry, but in the UK we get very rare, so we're not actually that used to it. We're more used to the cooler temperatures, the wet weather, and we still moan. That's life. What about you? What do you do? Do you do the same? When it gets too hot, too cold, too wet, too dry? I bet you moan as well. It's the worldwide thing, isn't it? And the trouble is, on a somber note, it's not going to get any better. The scientists, the meteorologists, everyone's saying the same. This is what we've got to expect. This is the weather we're going to have, and it's going to get more extreme as the years go by. By 2050, they reckon, unless there is a massive change in the way we live, that doesn't only mean about fossil fuels, it also means about the natural wildlife and the forests, the jungles, the trees in our gardens even. If we carry on cutting down the fauna and the flora, if we carry on getting rid of nature, we're actually on a downslope to our own extinction. Any case, that's all I'm going to say on that. I'll go into a long spiel about what we shouldn't do and what we should do. If you want to hear more about what I think we should do and what we shouldn't do, let me know. Tell me. Don't be frightened. I read all the comments. I'll answer all the comments. We've all got our own ideas about what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. Even just one of us can have an impact. Just one person doing something to help reduce global warming. One of us can help make a dozen can help make 100. 100 can help make 1,000, and 1,000 can help make millions of people doing something to help reduce global warming. Not just us, it's our children, it's our grandchildren, it's our great-grandchildren. They're all going to be affected. Yes, I worry about mine. I worry about my daughter. But there you go. There's not a lot we can do unless we all get together and we do something positive. Well, back to the garden. Well, here at Rosemere Cottage Garden, it's been so far a year of up and downs. Very, very good strawberry harvest. It's being a very, very good tomato harvest, and I've even got peppers. I've now got 4 peppers which I've actually been able to harvest, and I've got about another dozen plus on the plants. That makes my total of 1 pepper over the years previous to this year. Puts me to shame, doesn't it? Why did I not manage to grow more peppers in previous years than just 1? And even that one rotted. I went wrong somewhere, but this year, whether it's because I had more commitment with the garden and I wasn't growing on the allotment, which has also helped. So I've got more control over the watering, more control over the care. I can just walk out into the garden walk round, a quick 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes in the garden, first thing in the morning before the sun gets up too high. And I've done all the work I need to do in the garden. Do you find that? Do you find a difference with what you're growing at home? And if you've got allotments, what you're growing in the allotment? Everyone's been complaining this year. This year has been a really bad year for growing crops. And yes, I agree. You know, the onions, the garlic. I didn't know I had white rot in the garden. So in went the garlic, in went the onions. Out they came, full of white rot. So they went in the bin. But now I know I can't grow them in the garden. I'm not even going to attempt to grow them in pots, because you do get some contamination. And because I mix soil with the compost, I sift the soil, because I had a lot of soil put to one side where I flattened the garden off, because it was on a slope from the top of the garden down towards the house. It was on a slope, so I levelled it off, which left me a lot of soil. The garden before I did this was just a lawn, so the soil was mixed with turf. As I dug the garden, I dug in a lot of nutrient. I've dug in a lot of green vegetation. Anything I could get hold of really went into the soil, so it enriched the soil, and that's helped. Now the flowers and the shrubs and the couple of trees I've got in the garden have gone mad. Yeah, they are really growing well. And the bananas, the Musabazu banana plants, well, they are reaching for heaven, and it's only the end of July. They've still got another month. Any luck with September, we might get a good September, maybe another 2 months of growth yet. So they're already at the maximum height I've had of the banana plants over the last 4 or 5 years. So this year might break the record and be even higher. The garden is still evolving. You saw it in one of the videos earlier this year where I put a pergola up on the little patio by the sitting room window. Once the potatoes are out of the way, I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it into the centre of the garden nearest to the shed. One, it's easier for me to work on. I can work, bring stuff out of the shed, work in the pergola, under the pergola, in the day. And there's even, I can got a security light near it. Plus, I've got a solar light which is in the pergola at the moment, which I'll bring across, and means I can work. And if I want to, I can put the sides up. Whereas at the moment, where the pergola is at the moment, I can't have the sides up because it will take all the light from the lounge. But it was in the right place for the right time of year. Obviously, come the winter, I'll take it down because we do get some strong winds, and I don't want to find it going over the shed and into the middle of the road. That would not be good. So, I hope you're enjoying the weather, enjoying the summer. I know some of you are going into autumn, so I hope your autumn is still good. I hope you're getting a late summer. So until next time, I'm going to wish you well and say enjoy your gardens, enjoy your allotments, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.